Crying is so easy. I can cry right now if you want it.
This is a double feature. Welcome to Read It and Screech, the podcast
Where we shit on TikTok.
I don't. Welcome to Read It and Screech, the podcast. Go!
Sorry, you said where, and you threw me off.
I'm gonna die. Welcome to Read It and Screech, the podcast.
With a 19-year-old girl studying abroad in Shanghai, falls for her friend's boyfriend but finds herself drawn to a cocky blonde athlete instead. What? Why always children?
They're adults, first of all. Come sit with us while I give you the Cliff's Notes and the cringiest quotes, and we go screeching all the way. I'm Grace, and this is my co-host, Ava. This week, we present a double feature, If We Ever Meet Again, and If the Sun Never Sets by Ana Huang. First of all, we like Ana. She did the Twisted series that was like viral for a minute with Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, Twisted Games, and Twisted something else. That's the one I told you about, I think, right before we started the podcast, where they're having sex and he pinches her clit with his fingers.
No!
Because they're doing a hate fuck.
They're doing a
hate fuck.
I'm doing a hate no.
Anyway, something very important about her is that she credits, like at the beginning of her books, a proofreader.
That she says clit.
No,
That's something really important I
First
would
of
have
all,
added.
No, but I just like that.
She doesn't say clit a single time in this book.
I don't remember. No, it's like a sensitive bundle of nerves, which I find to be worse. Sensitive bundle of nerves, mound.
I'm a sensitive bundle of nerves. Secondly, mound is the worst.
I hate it, but people do it. They don't care. So I appreciate a proofreader because I've been had before. So these are two books in a set of 4, and these two are about the same couple, but then the following 2 are about other friends in the friend group.
I hate that.
These ones are special. These crazy kids get 2 books all to themselves. The first book is the If We Never Meet Again. It is 294 pages.
You'll never see me again.
The second one is If the Sun Never Sets, and it is 306. And then the audios are 8 hours and 7 minutes and 8 hours and 36 minutes, respectively. Goodreads is 3.55 stars for the first one. And the second one, I can't remember, but people shat on me. You know, she writes very cutesy books. They're like, if you pick it up, it's probably going to be a nice time. People didn't like these two, but I felt they were kind of in line with most of her other ones. They're like slightly less spicy than her other ones. And I think they're because she wrote these a little bit early in her career and they're about younger people. It's not about minors by any means, but they're not about like 30-year-olds. So this is in dual first person point of view. The setting is the foreign exchange program at Shanghai Foreign Studies University.
Say again? Fast.
Shanghai Foreign Studies University.
Okay.
The main characters are doing a semester abroad or a year abroad. And then the second book is set in New York City. The characters are Farah and Blake.
Okay.
I like the name Farah. Blake, not here. Oh, another thing. Ana she writes a lot of interracial relationships. Almost all of hers are interracial. Farah is a 19-year-old ABC, American-born Chinese, and she smells like orange blossom.
Ooh.
Blake is
a man.
Is a white man.
A white man.
He's a former football player. He has been on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, okay.
He recently broke up with his girlfriend back home and quit football back to back. So his family is kind of mad at him.
I'm not. People shouldn't play football.
Right. Prologue is Blake breaking up with Farah by telling her he doesn't love her. He's getting back with his ex and she was a mistake. She does not take it well, as you can imagine. She tells him his dad was right about him, which I did not need additional context to understand how hurtful that comment was.
Fair.
She leaves in a justified huff, and he cries like a baby once she's out of earshot. If Blake has no haters, I'm dead.
Fuck it up.
Okay. Back in time, 8 months. Farah is doing cute things like buying romance books and bubble tea when she runs into Blake and recognizes him from Sports Illustrated.
Girl, what? There's no way in hell I would recognize a man from Sports Illustrated.
Right?
What?
Conversely, I know all of their swimsuit edition models.
I wouldn't. Fuck. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, if I
they pick somebody like controversial, usually.
If you had met, or like I was thinking, if I saw a random, like if I saw a famous person on the street, I wouldn't, because Mom saw J-Lo at Kilwins.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just kept walking. I wouldn't have been like, oh, is that J-Lo?
I've seen a couple
I
famous
would've
people
been like-
I didn't recognize.
And I would have kept on trucking because my brain doesn't work that fast.
The guy from Vampire Diaries used to come and volunteer at the clinic I worked at, and I never recognized him because he was short.
Which
and he
one?
would give out snacks. Some blonde guy. I think it was
The one that dated the old lady?
I think it was the werewolf, Tyler.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have blonde hair. He has brown hair.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
I don't remember. It was just some guy from Vampire Diaries, and he would come give out snacks. So anyway, he makes fun of her for liking romance because she's like buying romance books and such, and asks, does she want to come hook up with him?
Oh.
Which she obviously declines. He goes back to his dorm and Skypes his family, where they tell him he should get back with his ex, and his dad, in parentheses, father of the year,
Don't worry, I will in 8 months.
right, refuses to talk to him. Later, all the exchange students go out drinking.
Better than me, because I would have never talked to him again. Like, these people
The
are...
dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Later, all the exchange students go out drinking, and after lusting after one of her best friend's boyfriends,
Ew.
they play Never Have I Ever, in which Farrah has to tell the whole
Never
group,
have I ever lusted after one of my best friend's boyfriends.
right? Farrah has to tell the whole group that, including Blake, that she is a virgin.
Oh, never have I ever done that.
Right? At a later date, Farrah runs into Blake at the library where he is studying because he's not like other boys, and they bond over studying Chinese and order takeout.
I'm sorry. He was on Sports Illustrated and he has daddy issues. He sounds like an internet boy.
Like, oh, yeah, the group ends up going to Disneyland together, and while there, Blake picks up on Farrah thirsting after her friend's boyfriend and rightfully chides her for it.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Like, in a flirty way.
No. The
Everyone-
secondhand embarrassment is more than I can take.
Oh, you strap in. The next morning, they have breakfast together while everyone is asleep, and they bond over their hopes and dreams, mainly that Farrah is working hard on applying to a big internship for interior design. The girls in the group then go on a trip to Thailand because apparently money is no object,
Right.
leaving Blake all alone back at school. Poor lonely Blake ends up finding some lame-ass American-themed bar because he's a lonely, homesick cuck. You can tell that I started my notes after I'd read the whole book. He starts shamelessly hooking up with a waitress there, and he decides that his new dream is to open a sports bar, despite the fact that he has no money and not one lick of experience in the food service industry.
I have no money and no prospect.
While he's getting it on with said barmaid hussy.
Why is there... I'm sorry. Nightmare blunt rotation. being a hostess, a server, or a waitress in whatever bar is written into any of these romance novels. Because they're always just like written into
Being a fool.
or being a flight attendant, because they're literally just like side character to give blowjob to guy. Like, I'm so
There's a
horrible.
book where that doesn't happen. It is The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, in which the flight attendant gets with the guy.
Oh, good. It's literally her where they're like, flight attendant, fuck her. Like,
Right.
oh, she's just screwing the waitress till
Right.
the girl comes home. Like, oh.
While he's getting it on with this barmaid hussy, Farrah has started pining after him in Thailand. As soon as they get back to school, she runs to his room with this little lame-ass elephant figurine that she bought him on her trip. I don't know why I was so mean about that.
Elephants are like revered in.
Yeah, but she talks about how it was like
South
this
India.
cheap little trinket.
Oh, cool.
The bar wench opens the door to his dorm. And
Oh my god, is she an adult woman?
Yeah.
An adult woman went back to the college dorm to sleep with.
But Farrah is like a junior, is like a
I can-
sophomore, and he's a senior, so he's
Can you
22.
imagine your grown ass self tracing back to a dorm room to fuck a college guy?
No.
I would choke and die.
It's not at all as awkward as it should have been. And she and Blake, now that she's back, go to dinner at some fancy restaurant with cool decor that he found and wants to
She
show her,
ignores the
Cute.
girl who opened the door.
basically.
Oh, okay.
So after this, Farrah goes shopping with her friends, and we find out that the secret to all this disposable income in the group is that one of the girls is filthy rich and mad at her dad. So she runs up his Amex 24/7.
I thought you were gonna say escort, but okay.
Yeah. The friend is ultra mad that her dad is trying to marry some girl in her 20s, so she decides that she's going to fund this huge birthday trip to Macau for the girl with the boyfriend that Farrah has been thirsting over. Later on, she runs into said boyfriend, and he low-key makes a pass at her
Ew.
with that whole, I wish I was dating someone like you.
Ew, no.
And she gets the ick and realizes that she doesn't like him anymore. She likes Blake. So they go to Thailand, and she and Blake bond over bungee jumping. And then they all go out dancing, where Farrah tries to make him jealous by dancing with some rando. And it works, but not how she wants, because he tells her he sees her like a sister.
Oh.
Shocked and slightly embarrassed, Farrah ignores him for a while until they go on another trip.
Oh my god.
This time to the Great Wall of China. And she tells him that her dad always wanted to come here with her, but she didn't get to. because she yelled at him and told him she wished he was dead, and then he did die. Almost immediately. On cue. It turns out it was because of years of alcoholism and gambling, but still.
Witch!
He tells her that he understands how she feels because he wants to open a bar and his dad would never support him.
Yeah, those are the same thing.
Those are the same.
What the fuck?
They then go walking at night, and he confesses that he does not, in fact, see her as a sister, and thank God for that because they make out.
What? Who told men that they should say that?
That I see you as a sister?
Yeah. What? And what book were you given in middle school that says, tell women, I see you as a sister?
I don't feel like it's that rampant. Do you feel
I feel like they say it all,
Oh.
like this isn't.
I wish more of them saw me that way.
I don't think it's true. What the fuck?
They're lying.
Right. It's just a weird thing that is said. I don't think it's a true thing.
So they start making out all the time in public. They do not
Oh,
bone him.
man.
Not for lack of trying on Farrah's part. He just won't have her.
Oh,
She keeps encouraging him to pursue his ill-advised dream. And
of
so...
a shitty dive bar?
So he loves her for giving him the love he could never get from his daddy.
Oh, good. So you can just be his dad. That's fair. I'm just looking for a dad, not a girlfriend. Cries and daddy issues.
He tells his mom that he's in love with Farrah, to which his mom says, that's weird, you've only known her for 3 months.
And to which she says, that's weird because you hadn't even boned her and
Yeah.
you're crying over your dad and you're dying for her.
So then mom tattles to dad about his stupid bar idea.
Weird that she would talk to him since they're married.
Right. And dad, of course, comes to the Skype screen to shit on his dream.
Every time you say dad comes, I'm like, please no.
No.
You gotta do something else. You keep saying it with a weird like, cadence. You're like, dad comes to do da da da. I'm like, ugh!
Gross. But Farrah arrives at his dorm just in time to cheer him up with her magic punani.
Ew!
They start to fool around, but it is quite literally anticlimactic because Farrah cannot orgasm.
He's gonna fix her with his magic wiener.
Never fear. The consummate professional Blake decides to approach this in the way he approached football and watch.
Quit! That's exactly what happened. What do you mean?
He watches her touch herself
No!
while taking notes,
No!
as if he would watch himself like redo plays. And this takes
So take a porno film.
so this takes 3 chapters.
No, it does not. You're a liar.
No, it does.
Go to hell.
Okay. We are now approaching Christmas break. The group is spending some time in town to celebrate, and the rich friend's credit card gets declined finally, which doesn't have anything to do with the plot, but it was still a fun little Easter egg.
That's not fun. I hate it.
They go to their respective homes for the holidays and have a bunch of dirty phone sex off page, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately. It's the only blessing we've received.
When they get back to school, Blake shows up while Farrah is hanging out with a friend, and she's really happy to see him, but the vibe is off. She decides it's because his dad must have been really, really mean to him on the break. And to be fair, he was.
He wasn't mean enough.
But that's not the only thing that happened over break. We find out soon after that Blake ran into his ex at a New Year's party back home, and he told her that he was with someone new and apologized for the hasty breakup. These heifer tells him that she understands and then asks if he will have a drink with her just like old times. And because he is an absolute fucking idiot, because his dad was right about him, he agrees. He wakes up the next morning in a hotel room with her, not remembering what happened.
After one drink, she roofie him?
No, they continued to have more drinks.
So how is she a heifer then if he continued to drink with her? That's not him.
Hold on. Just trust me. Trust the
I don't know,
process.
that's weird.
She comes out the bathroom in a towel and tells him they slept together. He does contemplate telling Farrah, but ultimately changes his mind when she mentions that something about how she would never tolerate someone cheating on her, as she shouldn't.
Man, slow it.
In contrast to how his family acted when Blake told them that he had found someone abroad, Farrah's mom is very nice and supportive and tells her that if she likes him, she should go for it. If only mom knew that Blake is a shisty little hoe bag. Farrah's birthday comes around, and Blake gets her this...
Goes around, goes all the way back around.
Blake gets...
Set yourself up for somebody so bad.
Blake gets her this fancy set of markers that you probably would understand the significance of, but I don't. It's Pantone, something.
Yes.
Right before he goes...
But also, those could have been nicer. Keep going.
Right before he goes to give them to her, however, he gets a Skype call from his ex-girlfriend.
She wants the markers!
She wants something else. Who tells him that she is fucking pregnant.
Ew! No!
He still goes to Farrah's birthday business as usual and digs her down real good and pretends nothing's
He's like,
wrong.
you know what? Could be doubles. Why not? Double and give it to the next guy.
Okay, this is like a very like a small slight that was even worse in my IMO because they use condoms religiously, he and Farrah, and so to have gotten the ex-girlfriend pregnant would mean ew, you know. So
That's
after
what I'm saying. Double and give it to
I
the
know.
next guy. He's just like
Double give it to the next guy.
slanging. Like, come on.
After giving her that good birthday ween, he tells her that he loves her so much and makes her
That he fucked someone out. Come on.
and makes her he makes her promise that she'll never forget how much he loves her no matter what happens.
I'm gonna forget tomorrow.
Subtle foreshadowing. Time is running out, so he starts to avoid her and spend a lot of time at that sketchy bar that he's using as inspiration for his live stream.
Time is running out.
In their program. He decides to just rip the band-aid off finally and breaks up with her via that scene from the very beginning. Farrah is obviously fucking upset. He does not tell her that he cheated on her and got his ex pregnant. He just says that they got back together as he did at the beginning. He says allegedly that he did it because he wanted her to have a clean break and not think that there was a future with him. There wasn't, so no worries. Graduation day for the program comes. No one wants to be friends with now Pariah Blake. Goes to black. End of book 1.
Sad.
Book 2 starts off 5 years in the future. Farrah is working at this fancy design firm that her internship helped her land. She's up for a promotion, but loses out to a Nepo baby who turns out to be sleeping with the boss.
So what is it? Are they a Nepo baby or did they get it because they're sleeping with the boss? Because those are two different.
Both. Why not both? Why not both?
Those are two different.
No, because, okay, so this is where it gets good.
You either get it because you're a Nepo baby or you get it because you're fucking the boss.
It's this guy who is the daughter of the best friend of the owner. So the owner would be like his godmother, and then he starts fucking the owner. So it's all of the above. Nepo baby and fucking the owner.
A guy who, you just said a guy who is the daughter. So is it a guy or a girl?
He's the boy daughter.
Which is it?
The boy kind. He's the son. He's the boy kind of daughter.
So confused.
He's the son. Okay, so his mom is best friends with the owner. So it got him the job. He started fucking the owner, got that promotion, as one does. Blake is, I hate the name Blake. Blake is a successful business owner now, despite all odds. He has a chain of top-of-the-line sports bars. He's been a Rolling Stone for the last 5 years and is hoping to settle in New York City, where Farrah, coincidentally, is living as well. She quits that job where she lost out to the Nepo baby, but as luck would have it, one of her former clients reaches out to her and tells her that his business partner has freshly moved to New York and needs assistance in decorating his apartment. Guess who the business partner is?
I don't want to play this game.
So she meets them for dinner and finds out that business partner is none other than Blake. Blake offers her 3 times her regular rate to decorate his apartment.
So full shit.
So she quotes him $300 an hour, and he agrees to pay her $900 an hour to decorate his apartment, and for no other reason. This launches him into a hundreds of pages long plight to get her back. His friends tell him that he can convince her to get back with him if he pretends that he will be friends with benefits, because that's what happens when you go to your male friends for advice. She does decide to give
Yeah, because that's all women want out of you.
Obviously, get on your back.
You better be slanging that dick.
She does. Here's the thing. After everything, she does decide to give him another chance after he admits to her what happened back when they were in the program and tearfully tells her that he was driving home in the rain one night with his soon-to-be baby mama and someone hit their car, causing her to have a miscarriage. Are you laughing?
Why does it say what a convenient literary vehicle? He's so fucking real. Oh, you know what would be so convenient is if these two people were both single and that pesky baby was out of the way. Are you joking? Stop. You have to be kidding.
Okay.
Oh my god! Like, what? I'm not laughing about that. Come on. Convenient. That's so easy to forget because there's nothing left of the affair.
Right after she decides that she will forgive him and be with him,
She doesn't have to. I'm surprised he didn't call her that day. Guess what? That's so messed up. I miss you. Like, come on. We owed it to ourselves to give it. No. Tell me you don't like her without telling me you don't really like her.
well, here's the gag is that he feels so guilty and he thinks it was his fault because right before it happened, he prayed that the baby would get taken away.
That's the equivalent of when she told her dad.
So now he can relate.
Right?
Exactly.
You're clear of these two.
But it's like, I just wanted the situation we got. I didn't want like that girl to like go through a devastating like thing. He goes home to see his family for his dad's birthday, runs into said ex from before. Again and again, she asks him to meet up with her.
Oh, fuck no!
And again, he agrees.
No.
And while he is with her, they meet on a playground for a serious
Absolutely.
conversation. They're swinging on the swings.
Absolutely not. I would be like, no.
And she's like, I need to tell you something. And he's like, wait, before you go, I have to tell you something. He's like, I wanted that baby to die.
Oh my god.
He's like, it's my fault. And he's like, it's my fault our son died. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Were you drunk driving?
She said, I'll stop you right there. Number one, no one thinks it was your fault that we got into a car wreck. And
It wasn't even his kid.
unrelated, that wasn't your baby.
I knew it.
She said she admits to this man that 5 years ago, they did not in fact sleep together. So he never cheated on Farrah. But she concocted that story once he woke up in that hotel room and told her that he couldn't remember what happened the night before. Do you see why I called her? You see why I called her a heifer? She was so hurt that he was giving his magic wiener to Farrah now.
Oh my god.
That
he can't sleep with other people, but you apparently can.
That she lied and told him that they had slept together. And then when he went back to China, she hooked up with some rando at a bar and got knocked up, and then was so afraid to tell her dad that she got knocked up from a stranger, and she still wanted to get back at him for dumping her. So she told everyone it was his.
That is complicated as shit.
Also, mind you, when he got back from China, that her dad like tried to hit him for knocking up his daughter.
Why are other people like a third or fourth party like, I am personally offended that y'all are fucking?
I shoot, you were inside of her.
Like, yeah, with that. That's so
I know.
creepily personal.
I think he was mad that he got her pregnant.
Like, how dare you have bodily autonomy?
So, here's one of the worst parts of the book.
Oh, good. There's more.
Everybody forgives her so goddamn fast. Like, oh, well, you were heartbroken.
I don't like that.
Okay, so he met the love of his
I
life.
have good news. I haven't forgiven her.
He met the love of his life. You ruined it for him. You ruined the love of his life. You let him for 5 years go on this spiral of grief. So they're like, oh, shake it off, shake it off. When Blake gets back to New York, he again breaks up with Farrah, this time because of some weird daddy issue bullshit about how he just destroys everything he touches.
Okay, bye.
So this time Farrah decides, fuck him for good.
Good.
Or does she?
Blake
has a grand opening of one of his new bars in New York City, and his whole family comes, including his father, who does his best to mend fences with his son. Fixing his relationship with his daddy makes him realize that he should not have dumped Farrah for this upteenth infinity time. He tries to go to her house and explain it, but thankfully she's not having it. So he just sits outside of her apartment, baby reindeer style, for several months, every single evening for hours.
Ew.
She finally agrees to hear him out on the night before she's traveling back home to see her mother and some friends, but she tells him, fuck you for this bullshit, and leaves. She's with her mom for a month. A month she can afford to take off work because of the fact that she made $900 an hour for so long working for him. He starts sending her letters admitting to all this weird stuff he did as a youth, trying to show her that he is opening up to her.
Ew.
Finally, he shows up at a party that her friend is throwing, and they make up, and then they go do it super loudly in this room, not far off the main room where everyone is partying, and they can all hear them. The end.
No.
Do you see why this was her least rated book?
That's gross.
First of all, I've read worse.
If I was an adult and my friends were fucking in the room where I could hear them, I wouldn't like that.
Has that ever happened to you?
Why do people act like that's like a cute quirk? Like, LOL, at least they're getting some.
Do you see why I called the ex-girlfriend a hussy? Can I get forgiven for that now? First of all, he never should have gone hung out with her.
Go with her.
He never should have gone with her. He never should have gone to hang out with her. She, like, when she was like,
I didn't say
when she was like,
a hussy.
tap on the shoulder in that bar and was like, hey, should we have a drink together? She'd be like, no, I have a girlfriend.
Right. I don't understand why he went with her at all. I didn't say she wasn't a hussy. I just said, why did he go? Period.
Would you like to participate in a quick fiction fix? Or hey, where are they now?
We didn't know where they are. They're fucking in that room.
To this day.
Probably.
Legend has it, if you listen really carefully, you'll hear them to this day. Okay, quick fiction fix.
There's like stories where
I didn't feel it needed too much of fixing because the whole point was, you know, if you fixed too much, there wouldn't have a plot anymore.
There are some stories that are so good. Did you hear that? I hope you got to the end. There are some stories that are so good that at the end I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder what those people are doing because they're out there.
Right.
And then that's why I don't like when they write stories about like the sister or the brother or the friend and like because then they often mention them in passing and they're doing something shitty and stupid.
Why did they
They'll be like, oh, they're taking their kid into kindergarten. And I'm like, ew, that's not what they're doing. They're doing something cool.
Two things.
So there's that.
Why did they break up that second time? That's what solidified me as a bona fide hater of him.
And then sometimes you don't need to know because they were such boring people.
I don't love when you read like a
So,
series like this with low stakes.
I don't
and you
need
hear
to
the happily
know-
ever after, and it's like they had waves of orgasms forever, and he wanted to fuck her, and he was hard all the time, and, and they just got more and more beautiful as they aged, and they never fought. And when they did, it was just sparks of passion that flew off of them. I read one of those one time, looking at Tessa Bailey, and normally I love her books, I still do, but like one of those happily ever afters, I was like, come on, the passion never faded. And they rolled around in the snow with their kids laughing,
So
just
no, I
enough
don't-
at a distance that it
I don't
wasn't
give a
weird that
fuck.
their dad was hard up against their mom.
Ew. Wow.
Okay. I actually don't read epilogues anymore. Say it in a chapter if it's important.
That's like when people want a tip and you're just like, just raise the price.
Raise the price. Put in a chapter. Why we didn't
Raise the price $3 if you don't like my tip. What is wrong with you?
I also hate it when there's like a big piece of plot in the epilogue. This is not a Marvel Avengers movie where we need a mid-credits Easter egg. If it's plot, put it in the book. Don't put it in the epilogue. Good God.
It's called a third act breakup. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, just don't get together.
Just skip that. That was weird.
Okay, that's one thing. I don't know that we needed to see her friend's Amex get declined.
Here's a note for you out there. I never need to see anyone's credit card.
I put that in
People
there
are-
for you.
Fuck yourself. People are poor enough in real life. We do not need to see that in fiction.
Well, she had cash, but she was just like finally getting.
I don't give a
that.
shit.
Does that count as one of your fixes?
I don't ever need to see anyone's card get declined. If reading is an escapism or whatever, I don't ever need to see someone's card get declined.
Anyway.
Anyway. So yeah, take that out.
Okay, what's the third
I
one?
don't like that. I don't like that. I'm never gonna like that.
You know
no
what?
third act breakup.
I have another.
Do not decline people's credit cards on screen. And
I have another one. I preferred him not be the king of sports bars. Why not a different type of restaurant venue? How fucking lame. He's like Buffalo Wild Wings.
when he said taking notes about football and blowjobs or whatever, what was that? Take that out. That was weird as fuck.
What?
I didn't like that.
He's like, Coach has me review the plays.
Come in, coach. Come in.
You're gonna take 3 hours of
I'm on
him
the
learning
bench.
her how to give her an orgasm?
Take me off the bench. Put me in.
Also, they're like, oh no, she's not an orgasm. Well, she's a virgin. I know those things are not exclusive,
No,
but also give
I
her
don't
some,
like whatever trope that is. I don't like it.
give her some like grace of not knowing how to
That's
orgasm with
disgusting.
a partner if she's
That's
never
disgusting.
had sex
That's
before.
disgusting. That's disgusting.
I would change his name also.
I'm sorry. There's something really foul and almost old male bleary, Butchie, about wanting to read and write about virgins on that level. She's like, huh? That's how I feel when I read that. I don't know. Skip.
Yes, and
No, just yes.
because I've read enough of her books and most of her characters
I'm so fucking
aren't.
scared right now.
Most of her characters aren't, so it's not like a thing. I also don't like it though. Sometimes they will like enter on them doing
Yeah.
some kind of weird, gross, dirty sex just to show she's not a virgin, and I'm like, you didn't need to do that either. Could have just been normal somehow. Like in Akatar, where she's doing it in the barn with that guy Isaac.
What are you trying to prove?
Okay, anyway. Thank you for listening to Read It and Screech. If you'd like to support, you can always rate, review, and subscribe. You can also find us on, for now, TikTok at Read It and Screech. By the time this comes out, TikTok might be gone.
For now.